Hi everyone, it's Michaela from A Peaceful Pursuit. I hope you're doing well today. Today I wanted to do a little video on just kind of talking about being content in your home with the way that it is. I'm not going to waste any time, I'm just going to get right into it. And I want to preface this with saying I'm going to talk about being content with the way your home is, but also being okay with wanting to make it beautiful. So this isn't going to be like your typical you just have to completely accept how it is, like it's wrong to want to make it pretty, because I don't think that. But I'm gonna go point by point and let's just get right into it. So first of all, I want to make it known that most people have normal houses. Like when you see bloggers, especially, home decor, they are like curating, a look, and even their house might not be like that in every square inch of their house. Like they probably have spots that they haven't touched, or even if they have been able to renovate or build a brand new house or whatever, like the house is not clean in every single area all the time. Like that's just completely impossible. I feel like that's something that we all know, but we still then put unnecessary burdens on ourselves, especially as homemakers. That every inch of our home needs to be spotless and things put away all the time. And it's like over time you probably could get to a point, if you lived very minimally with very few items, where everything has its place all the time. But there's still going to be moments in time where I don't know, like it's a birthday or something and you get new things and then you have to redo it. So it's like it's not like that all the time for anyone. And so I just feel like recognizing that people have normal houses, even bloggers. And the other thing is, especially on video or even just blogging, they probably have a spot that they've made really pretty. Now, I understand over time, if somebody lives in a house for a long time, you can touch every corner of the house, but generally speaking, that's probably not the case for the average person. Now, on the flip side, normalizing having a normal house, that most people have that, I think it's also completely okay to want to create beauty, because I don't want to be in either ditch. Like I don't want to be on the side of I have to just completely accept my house, even if I think it's ugly and uninspiring, and I don't feel inspired to create a beautiful atmosphere for my family. Of course, this starts in your heart and your heart posture before the Lord, but then it extends out because God is a creator. He created all of this beauty around us. But I also don't want to be on the flip side, the other side of the ditch, where you're not even happy, or you're just like, I'm only going to be happy when I can do this, or you're just having a bad attitude about your home because it's not exactly how you want it. I don't think that either one of those is good, which that's most things in life. Like you don't want to be on either side of, super deep in the ditch, because not that the answer is always somewhere in the middle. I don't think it is. I don't think that things are just neutral. There are extremes, and oftentimes either extreme is not like the best place to land. I think that it's okay to want your home to be different in some ways. And especially as a homemaker, like we often have this drive to create beauty. We want our home to be a place that feels cozy and warm and inviting for our families. That involves, paint colors, hanging things on the walls, just making a style in your home that speaks to you as the homemaker, like reflects you as the homemaker, but also reflects your family, in that they feel comfortable and like they can live there. Like it's not like, oh, we can't touch anything, And like I said, God is a creator, and that is something that I really have been kind of thinking about, because it's like, wow, we really do have the beautiful freedom to create. And so I think that there's a tension there of, when the home doesn't reflect the homemaker as she would like. There's a tension there when the home doesn't reflect her, and I think that that's okay for that to feel that way. Like I don't think that that's wrong. Again, it's just guarding your heart against going on either side, like I can't be happy till my house looks like this. So I also wanted to share just some practical tips that have been helping me in this kind of tension of like, I want to do these projects, but financially I can't just do all these projects. I have to do them one by one, or even do them in like a thrifty way. So my first tip would be to make sure you are cleaning your home. Now obviously it doesn't need to be spotless, but I will tell you, on the days when I'm just kind of feeling like I'm in a funk because I'm like uninspired and I'm wanting to do things to my home that I just can't right now, I just make sure that I'm taking care of it. So making sure to dust the living room, you know, wipe off the cupboards in the kitchen, clean the bathrooms. Like, you will be amazed if you just do that, you know, do one thing, one extra thing like that, how much better you feel, because your home just, I don't know, it gives it like a facelift. So even though, you know, you couldn't do that certain design thing on a certain wall that you wanted, well, you cleaned this and now it just kind of has like a sparkly look to it. You also stewarded, you know, the home that you've been given by God. So I think just, it seems so basic, but just keeping it clean is really a game changer. Another thing I would say is to declutter and organize. I have been slowly decluttering our house. We have way too much stuff. I don't even know how it has happened. And it's just like, and we've moved twice since we've been together. It's like every time it just comes with us, and then, you know, you have a bigger space, so then somehow it becomes more. And so I have been decluttering and donating and just seriously getting rid of things, because I'm like, I don't know, I'm not really a minimalist and I'm not really trying to be. I don't know. I guess, I don't know, I'm just not. But there's just so many things that we don't need, that we're not using, we're not going to use, and somebody else can get better use out of it. So I've been doing that, and it's making a world of difference just in how my home feels. It just feels lighter and brighter. And so again, not doing certain projects, but just making it more livable and comfortable has been a huge help. So another tip that I have, this is something I've always done even when I was a kid, is to rearrange the furniture in your rooms if you can. Some rooms have to be certain ways, like bedrooms. I feel like sometimes if you have a bigger bed, you know, there's oftentimes only one way it can be. But if you can, rearrange something, because it will give you a fresh set of eyes and it will just make the room feel brand new, even though you replaced nothing. It's just fun to do that. We would always do that as kids, or just, I don't know, we would get bored of our rooms and then we would just rearrange them, and it just made everything feel exciting and inspiring again. So that's a simple tip that you can do in certain rooms where that flexibility is available. And another thing that I want to say is to kind of shop your home. So if you're decluttering, this is a great time to do that, because you will likely find things that you forgot you had. So then, you know, you can go through and be like, okay, I don't really love this anymore. I'm not using this, but oh, I found this, and put it somewhere, you know, as a decoration or whatever it is. And you're probably gonna feel inspired because it feels new to you, because it's been in hiding for so long. And I think that's just a really easy way to not spend any money. So my last couple points that I want to mention is, I think it's also okay to do small things as you are able. I've kind of been doing that just with what we have. So we had a bunch of paint samples. They're like a bunch of different shades of white. They're all white, and I can tell the difference. My husband was like, they all look white to me. But I can tell the difference between them. You know, they're just, some of them have like a green hue or a gray hue or whatever, but we had a bunch of samples that we bought a couple years ago, and I had some things that I wanted to paint. A couple being some pots that I planted some peace lilies from my grandpa's funeral in, and I wanted to paint these pots because they were, I don't know, they were just old, and they were, you know, they weren't like gonna fit the style that I was going for, and I just wanted them honestly to be white. And so I used the paint samples, and that way I didn't have to go out and buy anything new. Now granted, I understand, you know, we did buy those at one point, so we spent the money, but I didn't have to spend any more money to do that project. So we still have those paint samples, and I'm planning on using them up. Like, I'm just gonna keep them as long as they last. I will just use them for a variety of different things, because it's just an easy way to create something, because I love to do that. I love to make and create and just, you know, do projects, but I don't have to spend the extra money. Now, another thing, you know, if it's like really small, I feel like, I don't know, I was at the dollar store the other day and I saw that they had wire wreaths, because I want to do those for my cupboards. I want to have like different seasonal ones, and it was a 2-pack for $1, which is way cheaper, because I was looking at like Hobby Lobby or Target, and for the mini wreaths they're like usually at least $10 unless they're on sale, and then if they're on sale they don't have enough, you know, so you don't have matching ones, which really bothers me. So I haven't done it yet, but I think there are ways to do thrifty projects like that where you're not spending very much, if you are in a position to be able to do that, of course. But I think that, you know, is perfectly okay. You can just do small things like that. There's ways to do things in a thrifty way that definitely isn't going to break the bank. And then of course, it's totally okay to set money aside, and when you're able, do the bigger projects. We have a list of projects. My husband and I made a Google Doc, and we just like put house dreams on there of things that we want to do. And over time, you know, as we have the money, we will do them. But I think it's important just to remember as you're waiting for that, like, don't forget to live in your home and enjoy it, because if you're just always waiting for like, oh, this to happen, like you're just gonna miss out on right now. And humans are so prone to just falling in that trap of like, when I get here, I'll be happy, or when I get here, I'll love it, you know, and it's like, well, then there's gonna be the next thing. There's always the next thing. So I think just doing some practical things in your day-to-day to make your home, you know, feel beautiful and clean and warm and welcoming will definitely go a long way. But of course, this also all begins in the heart. So coming before the Lord and just, you know, being grateful that you have a home that you get to take care of and steward, and you get to serve the people that live there. And it's such a gift. So I think we just have to have an internal perspective versus, you know, just what's the next minute kind of a thing. Holding everything loosely with open hands, I think will always serve us well. If you are new, I would be so happy to have you here. My goal is to encourage the homemaker in her peaceful pursuit, and we would just love to have you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next Friday.